Hey guys, what's up? So today I am going to do a review on this foundation. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. It is called the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. It claims to have full coverage. It also has SPF 50 in it, which is amazing, so you can protect your skin from the sun. You know, a lot of times what I do is use a SPF prior to putting foundation on, but the only issue with that is sometimes it doesn't like really mesh well with the foundation. So I'm going to use the shade 120 Classic Ivory. I felt like out of all the 16 shades that they have, that this one would match me best. It also has antioxidants in it, pollution protection, and it is, I believe, $12.99 on Maybelline and Ulta, but at Target and Walmart it's slightly cheaper. It says it leaves the skin with a natural finish, which is my personal favorite. I love that look. It claims to be lightweight and dermatologist tested. You can apply it with your fingertips, a beauty sponge, or a makeup brush. I am going to do half my face with a primer, half my face without, and then one side with a makeup brush, the other side with a sponge. It covers imperfections and it helps to even out skin tone. So that's about all I can find out about it. I'm really excited to try this out. I'm gonna wear it throughout the entire day and share with you guys my thoughts on it, you know, as I apply it and how it's looking throughout the day. If I like it, if I don't like it, I'll do like a rating at the end of the video. So yeah, if you like these type of reviews, definitely let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you guys have tried this and what you think about it. So let's go ahead and get into the video. I've already prepped my skin, guys, by washing it. I exfoliated. I did a mask from Summer Fridays today, which I really liked. It smells like pumpkins. It reminds me of fall. And it's kind of like exfoliating and smooths out the skin. And then I went ahead and moisturized with my e.l.f. moisturizer, which I'll link down below. And I love that so much. It's like one of my most favorite drugstore moisturizers I've ever used because it's like a gel type of formula. Anyway, I do like to prep my skin even further though before I put on foundation. I just feel like it lays a lot better when I do that. So we're going to go in with the serum, the Hey Honey Good Morning Honey Silk Facial Serum. And I'm just going to do one pump of that. That's what it looks like. So this is enriched with honey, silk amino acids, sea buckthorn oil, and vitamin E. So it just gives a lot of moisture to the skin. Even though this smells really bad, I've also been liking this, the Glam Glow Moisture Trip Omega Rich Moisturizer. And I think the reason why I don't like it is because, like, the smell is because there's hemp seed oil in it. But dang, if you're looking for moisture, this is where it's at. It just is like an explosion of moisture on your face. It feels amazing. And then I guess I'm going to prime the side that's usually worse, which is this side. This side? I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. This side of my face breaks out more than the other. So I'm going to use a primer on that. CoverGirl True Blend Base Business. Oh, wrong side. And I'm just going to smooth that in on this side of the face. And this is the primer that I usually use with every foundation, except for the Makeup Forever, their new like matte velvet powder that came out. This one does not work well with that. But other than that, I have not had an issue with that primer. Or this primer, I mean. It gives like a slight glow to the skin that I love. And it really does smooth everything out. Here's the foundation, Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. But that's nice so that not too much comes out. Shake it up. Make sure you shake it because the SPF can kind of get separated. So I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand like this and give it a good swatch first on my face. Alright, so I'm just going to gently pat this in, and immediately I can see the coverage. Like, wow, all of my redness is completely gone. Get it in this inner corner here. Wow. Okay, true test is the nose. I have so much redness there. Wow. I'm thinking that this is going to oxidize a little bit because it does seem light for me at the moment, but once I put all of my powders and bronzers on, I think I'll be fine. applying some now to my forehead. It's really easy to apply for sure. Like, it's easy to blend out. And I feel like it's sticking well on my skin. Like, it definitely has a really beautiful finish to it. I can see a slight glow. I really like it. So you guys can see a huge difference between both sides of my face. This one is flawlessly covered. Like, that was totally full coverage right there. And then this side, you can see all of my natural redness that I have in my skin and some little like acne scars here. So it definitely did a good job covering with the sponge. So now what we're going to do is on this side without the primer, we're going to use this brush. It's from Sigma. It's called the Flat Kabuki F80. Going in with about that much. And I'll try circular motions first. Okay, so I feel like nothing really got on my face. It's just coming off. Okay, I don't like that. Well, let me try it with my fingers and see what that looks like. Well, that's definitely better, but I gotta say the blending sponge is a winner for me for sure. This is more for like if you want an everyday look with your fingers, whereas this is like full coverage glam. It just depends on the look you're going for, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this side with the blending sponge here, guys, because it's just gonna look really weird and I have to go out, so I'm gonna have them both be with the blending sponge, but this side has no primer, so we'll still be able to test out and see if you need one or not. It's beautiful though. Okay guys, I'm going to talk you through how I did the rest of my makeup so you can see how things are sitting on my face. I just kind of fast forward through this portion, but I still wanted to let you guys know what I did just in case any of you wanted to know. Using Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in light under the eyes, bridge of the nose, center of the forehead, and chin, and I just gently blended that out with my e.l.f. Cosmetics blending sponge, and I felt that it actually blended into the foundation really well. Like, it looked seamless. After that, I applied a powder under my eyes and also to the T-zone area of my face because I do tend to get oily throughout the day, and I like to mix the Laura Mercier loose setting powder with Too Faced Peach Perfect, and I'll just pat that on over top of the concealer. Next, I like to go in with Benefit Hoola Bronzer. It is one of my most favorite bronzers ever because it has a taupey kind of shade to it. It's not too warm. It just matches perfectly with my body, and I applied that to the outer corners of my face. Then I like to contour just a little bit with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'll use that middle shade there, work it in the hollows of the cheekbones and also under the jawline, and sometimes a little on the tip of my nose too. For blush, I went in with Mai Tai. It's from OFRA Cosmetics. It's that perfect, like, peachy, corally, orangey shade that I thought would work really well with the eye look that I did today. And for the eyes, I used, actually, the Anastasia palette in Soft Glam, which you guys will see here in a second. Highlighting with Catrice Cosmetics. Oh, God, that one is so beautiful. It's like a bronzy shade. Has some gold reflex in it. Set my entire face now here with Maybelline Fit Me powder. I always do this as a last step because it helps kind of give a soft focus blur effect to the face. It helps everything blend in better together, and it prevents any extra oiliness from seeping through. So here I'm going in with the Soft Glam palette. I did a mixture of golds, browns, the darkest brown, and then the very lightest shade in the inner corner.
I can definitely do a tutorial if you guys would like, just let me know. And for the lips, I decided to go with a nude glossy lip. I used Nude from Kokie Cosmetics lip pencil and 2 different Too Faced lipsticks from their nude collection, one that's darker and then one that's a little bit lighter in the center of the lips. And finished off with a Laura Mercier gloss and Urban Decay setting spray. So here's the final makeup look. As you guys can see, everything just blended in so perfectly together. I didn't have any issues and I was really, really happy with the way that this looked.
Alright guys, so this is how the foundation looks now that I've completely finished my makeup, and I really love it. Like, I think it looks awesome. I didn't have any issues whatsoever. Even my little acne over here has been covered and I can barely see it. I didn't experience any weird like caking up because of the primer that I had used on that one side. It's not settling into my fine lines and wrinkles or anything. Like, it truly looks flawless. I'm actually really impressed. And I looked at reviews online before I did this because I wanted to make sure that it was decent. Like, if this thing had like 2 out of 5 reviews everywhere, then I probably wouldn't have reviewed it, just because, I mean, what's the point? You know what I mean? But this actually had decent reviews. On Maybelline.com, it was a 4.3, 52 reviews. Ulta, 3.7, 18 reviews. So that's not so bad. Probably that they can't find their shade, I'm guessing, is like the biggest issue. I feel like this shade actually ended up matching me really well, and especially after I put on my bronzer and stuff that have more like taupey tones to it, which is sort of, I feel like I'm more on the taupe side. So once I added my bronzer, my blush and stuff, it all just kind of like came together. And personally for me, Maybelline foundations have always worked, but it just sucks that there's only 16 shades, you know? So I'm guessing that's what most people are saying the cons are. Yeah, okay, there you go. Shade range, and also that it has a medium coverage. And if you guys remember, when I applied it with the brush, it did not go well. When I applied it with my fingers, I would say it was a medium coverage, but when I used the blending sponge, and that one was from e.l.f., it was full coverage, in my opinion. You have to let me know what you guys think, but maybe that's what's happening, is that people aren't using it with the blending sponge. They're doing other things, and that's why they feel like they're not getting enough coverage. Pros on Ulta is that it has the SPF 50 and that it has a buildable coverage. People are saying it's a great summer foundation, oily skin stamp of approval. Great, but you need to kind of work with it a little. Yeah, like, looking at it up close, I mean, it actually got into my skin really well, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it's sitting on top and that it looks cakey. I don't feel like I'm wearing any foundation. Gosh, I'm just honestly so impressed with how well it covered everything over here on this side. I don't notice a difference between this and this side, like primer-wise. Looks pretty similar. So I'm excited to see how this wears throughout the day. It is actually late right now because I spent the first part of the day editing a video, the last one that you guys saw when I went to the Dollar Tree store. That was a really long video. So right now it is 5:30. So I'm just gonna wear this throughout the day that I have left. And I will update you guys in a few hours from now. I'll try and like push it out to like 12 or 1. So I'm just gonna go about my day, and I will see you guys in a few hours. 10 o'clock. So it's been a little over 4 hours now, and I did notice some things happening, mainly in my chin area and my forehead. I have no idea why, because I put primer on like half my chin and then primer on half my forehead, but directly in the middle of both, I'm having some separation. So what I'm thinking is the combination of the foundation, whatever it is made with, mixed with my particular skin. Some foundations happen to cause separation on me, others don't. It's just like, I'm not exactly sure, like, I haven't pinpointed it, the reason why it happens to me, but it's not bad, honestly. Like, in regular lighting, if you were to see my face in person, you can't see the separation, but I can see it if I'm looking really close up into a mirror with studio lights on my face. Like, I can personally see it, but I don't think it would be an issue. If you happen to have similar skin type to me and you guys have seen other, you know, foundation reviews that I've done and the foundation performs similarly on your skin type as it does mine, then maybe this will happen to you, but it really isn't that bad. So I'm not like freaking out about it or anything. Like, I will still wear this foundation. I really like it a lot so far. And also I did kind of like spill a little bit of food here, like coffee and syrup, because I was eating pancakes, and I kind of like dabbed it off like this. So maybe that's why it's happening on my chin. But my forehead, that's unexplained. I definitely didn't get food on my forehead. I'm 100% certain about that. Yeah, the rest of the face looks awesome, and oh god, I really love it. It just looks super flawless. All of my imperfections are covered, and I'm like still, like, I got that nice glow still going, which is nice. So yeah, with it being, what, like almost 5 hours in, I think it looks great, and I'm going to continue wearing it for the rest of the night. But so far I'm really liking it, besides the separation. And also, one thing I wanted to mention, because earlier I guess I didn't like really think about it as I was applying the foundation, but I was definitely using a heavy hand. Like, I put quite a lot of it on my face, and now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's why some people were saying it was only a medium coverage, because they weren't using as much as I was. But I just love using foundation. I usually go in with a heavier amount anyway, so I just wanted to mention that you're gonna need to be using a lot to get the coverage that I got, which means you run out faster, but it is affordable. So it's 1:30 in the morning, kind of late, but I wore my foundation for about 8 hours now, and I can definitely see now, which I'm sure you guys can probably see too, the oiliness, but it's not bad at all. Just in this T-zone area here, and I probably wouldn't fix it. I actually think it looks nice. I kind of like it when my oils seep through a little bit. I feel like the foundation looks more like real, like skin. I'm totally cool with it. I do still have a little bit of the separation going on here, but it didn't get any worse. It kind of stayed the same. You can't even really see the forehead one, but just on the chin it's a little red there. I really feel like that's mostly because of me like touching my face, and then the food that I had on my face that I kind of like tried to pat off like this. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep wearing it again, and I will let you guys know if this happens again. And I'm gonna also try it with a different primer to see if that helps. So I'm gonna give this foundation a 4.8, only because of the separation issue, and because I feel like the shade range does kind of suck. Like, I wish that they would have more shades. They definitely need to have more shades. I mean, for it being 8 hours, I feel like I've had foundations that look way worse at this point, and this definitely held back my oils more than others do. I do really love the full coverage. I mean, like, I love everything about this foundation. The SPF, like, oh, that is so amazing that I can protect my skin from the sun while I'm wearing this. I don't have to wear like a separate product. So I would definitely recommend it to you guys to try out and give it a chance if you can happen to find your right shade. So I do usually like to do this, see if I can fix up the foundation in any way to make it look more like I have just freshly put it on. So what I'm going to first do is use the BH Cosmetics oil blotting papers, but any oil blotting paper will do, or you could use like a napkin, you know, paper towel, toilet paper, whatever you prefer. And I'm just gonna do this in the T-zone area so you can see all that oil it picked up. In the summertime, my T-zone area is very oily, but then in the winter and fall, not so much. So we'll see if this gets any better. I'm just curious, you know, what this can pick up, and if hopefully it doesn't pick up the foundation completely. Okay, so that already looks a lot better if you're not about the oily life. So I just used 2 full ones with like a lot of oil on my skin. That's kind of gross. But that is how it looks after blotting, and I just now realized that I forgot to get a close-up of how it looked after 8 hours. I am so sorry. Wow. I hate myself. It's like 1:30 in the morning, guys. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. But yeah, that is after we blotted. It definitely looks better. For the places that are separating, I'm just curious to see if I apply more of the foundation, if it'll kind of like fix itself. I gotta look up close in a mirror though. Oh yeah, I fixed it. Okay, so if you notice that that's happening to you too, what I would say is, like, if you're going somewhere, to take the foundation with you so you can just kind of like dab it on those two areas. Only if that happens to you, because that was like the problem I was having, were those two areas, and that was it. The rest of the foundation looks awesome. So it fixed itself, which is good.